based on my current circumstances. That's what it says. Based on my present circumstances. Based on what I am called to do right now. The situation I find myself in. Is this the wise thing to do? Let me run down some paths for you. Let's say you just have 5 kids at home now. They're all under 13. Based on my current situation, is it wise to go out and eat every day? No. Ain't nobody got to tell you that. You can't be going to breakfast, McDonald's, lunch, Wendy's, and then... No, go cook something at home. Based on the amount of emotional pressure you have right now in your life, can you take on a bigger assignment? Come on, man. Based on my current situation, is this wise for me to do? Here's another one. Based on your current situation, can you afford to go get more overtime? Because now somebody else is going to raise your kids, not you. Is that the wise thing to do long term? If this is what I'm saying, it's important. Based on my current set of circumstances, is this the wise thing to do? Based on the fact that my income is here and my expenses are here, is it wise for me to buy a house now? Come on. No, somebody will say, oh yeah, well, it may be. Okay. And what happens when the car breaks after that? Now you're going to have to get a loan from somebody else charging you 40% in a 3% world. And then you're going to be like, how did I get here? I'm going to tell you how you got there. You didn't scoop it up and carefully examine it. You followed your heart. And you didn't walk carefully. The last question is my favorite. It's the one that breaks me down all the time. Here it is. To me, it's the most powerful of them all. And it's tough. The last question says, based on my future, my hopes, and my dreams. What's the wise thing to do? The first one says, based on my past experiences, what's the wise thing to do? Second one says, based on my present circumstances, what's the wise thing to do? And then the last one says, in light of my future hopes and desires and dreams and goals, what's the wise thing to do? Listen to me, please. Okay, let me help you out. The number one question I get oftentimes is, how far is too far? I'm going to answer that question for you right now. How far is too far? You listen to me, please. When your 15-year-old daughter says, how far is too far? Here's the answer. How far do you want to tell your 15-year-old daughter what's too far? Because either one or two things, but either you have to lie to them. Hey, Dad. What's up? What did you do when you were 15 years old? Were you sleeping around? So either you're going to have to lie, or worse, you're going to have to say, don't do what I did. Based on your future hopes and dreams, listen to me, one community. Based on your future hope and dreams, what are you going to tell your kids that you'd want to do? Hey, how far is too far? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Whoa. Whatever you want the world to know that you can do, that you did when you were 12, 11, 15, 18, do that. Whatever story you want them to tell about you, do that. You want them to tell that you got pregnant at 11, then you got pregnant at 15, then 18, then 22, then 25, and then you want to tell them don't do like I do? Okay, see how that works. That's why it's a great question to ask. Here it is. What story do I want told about? When your grandkids come to you and say, hey, you tell me, hey, man, what should I do? What did you do, Grandma? What did you do, Granddad? Great. What did you do? What did you do? Tell me about it. When you're my age. We're just making sense, one family. It's a big deal. It's not a little deal. You want clarity? Then ask yourself, what story do I want told about me? Can I talk to the fellas just for a moment? Fellas, let me talk to you. Ladies, sit back, get some popcorn for a moment. Let me talk to the fellas. Fellas? What story do you want told about you? Would you want somebody to do to your daughter what you're doing to that single woman now? What story do you want to be told? Come on, fellas. Come on. If you're looking into your own daughter's eyes, would you want to treat her and use her like the way you're using somebody else right now? Would you want your daughter paraded all over the internet so vultures can take a stab and woo her? What kind of future story do you want to be told? Ladies and gentlemen, the stakes are too high for us not to scoop it up, investigate it, put it down, and then take the step. New Orleans Saints, they won the Super Bowl. You know why they did? Because that year they weren't just playing for themselves. They were playing for the whole city. Because after Katrina and the whole city was in pain, they had an extra pep in their step. They had an extra tackle, an extra fight in each tackle, because they knew that the city needed desperately a win. You see, when you realize how high the stakes are, you make better decisions. When you realize how high the stakes are, you train a little harder. When you realize how hard the stakes are, you fight a little more. What I'm asking God for is some believers that believe that the stakes are really high. That you don't want the generational curse to continue through your lineage to your son and your grandson and your great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter, but you realize how high the stakes are, and you're putting it on your back, and you say, as for me and my house, we're going to make the right decision. We're going to scoop the dirt out. We're going to make sure it's the right step before we step on it. We're not going to make decisions according to our little emotions and what feels right. It's too high. The reason they won is because they were carrying the city on their backs. Jesus is asking you, will you realize how high the stakes are? And will you follow me and ask the 3 questions? Hey man, based on my past experiences, is this really wise? Based on my current circumstances, is this really wise? Based on my future, what I know God's calling me to do in the future, is this the story I want to tell? Therefore, be careful how you walk, not as if life is not connected, but as if life is connected. Not as unwise men, but as wise. Why? Because we ought to make the most of our time, because the days are evil. Therefore, don't be fools. Know what the will of God is and walk in it.